Hey guys, today I want to take a look at one of my older handguns in my collection. I'm a big fan of Such 00. He has an excellent channel. It's one of my favorite ones here on YouTube. And lately, and he has in the past, he'll get an older handgun of some sort, kind of a CNR type handgun, and he'll do a review and give a little history behind it. And that kind of inspired me to do this as well. I hadn't had this pistol out probably in years out of my gun cabinet, so just want to take a quick look at it. This here is actually a Smith & Wesson 32 hand ejector, model 1903. It's got a 4 1/4 inch barrel on it. It weighs about 20 ounces. It's based on Smith & Wesson's I-frame revolvers. As you can see, what's left of the finish, it was at one time nickel plate. It's got mother of pearl grips. The 32 Smith & Wesson long, the cartridge that this gun shoots, was introduced in I think about 1896. Pretty anemic by today's standards. I've got one right here. As you can see, that's about I think it's a 98 grain, just lead bullet. This is the cartridge that it shoots. They move somewhere around 720, 760 feet a second. It's got the muzzle energy of about a 22 long rifle, so pretty anemic by today's standards, but at the turn of the century this was quite a popular handgun as well as a popular round. As you can see, this gun's in, at least cosmetically, in pretty poor shape. Most of the nickel, a vast majority of the nickel has been worn off. But there's no rusting, no pitting. The barrel's in pretty good shape considering the age on this gun. Mechanically, it works great, not a problem. Like I say, just a little problem with the finished cosmetics there. But these handguns were pretty common. They produced quite a few of them. Based on the serial number, from all my research, this handgun was manufactured probably in about 1906, so it's 104 years old. So, I mean, considering, I mean, that's pretty old. 104 years. I don't think it's not that bad a shape. Like I said, this gun wasn't kept in a drawer. It was used very regularly. It appears it has a lot of heavy use. So, got their money's worth out of it. I don't know exactly what these cost back in the day, but I can imagine this with the nickel plating and the pearl grips, this was probably quite the dandy back then, probably more the high end of the 32 hand ejector models. But these guns today on Gunbroker, in this one here in this present condition, I'd say it's about $150, $200. Pristine with the box, I've seen them go up to about $600. So, and they made different types, different finishes. You could get blue and rubber grips, wood grips, that kind of those kind of options. But like I say, it's not, by today's standard, it's not worth a lot of money. But to me, this pistol is priceless, and I'll tell you why. I'm actually the 5th generation of my family to own this handgun. This handgun has been in my family for the entire 104 years of its life. It originally belonged to my great-great-grandfather. Got a picture here of him. I don't know how well it's going to show up on this camera, but his name was Briggs Garland. He's the tall, thin gentleman there in the middle. He was born and raised in Graham County, North Carolina. You guys aren't familiar with that area. It's in the mountains, right on the Tennessee border. And from all accounts, from what my grandmother's told me, he was a true mountain man, hunting, trapping, fishing. Him and his brother were even, I believe they were gunsmiths, at least part-time gunsmiths, like to tinker with firearms. So I think he was probably about 20 years old in this picture. He was born in 1880, and I think this picture is probably from about 1900. I say, if you're not familiar with that area, it's beautiful, rugged country, beautiful mountains up there. There's actually a cove up there, Briggs Garland Cove, that's named after him, a little community there. Part of the Cherokee Indian Nation, their reservation is in Graham County, and he married, my grandmother was named Hattie Garland. She was actually part of that Cherokee Indian Nation here's an old picture of her. I know it's kind of old, standing in front of an old automobile there, but she's got on her, I guess her Cherokee Indian, the clothing of the day, I guess. So quite a lot of history there. From my understanding, she was quite the lady. My great-great-grandfather who owned this gun, he died rather young, about 41 years old, about the same age I am now, matter of fact. When he died, my grandmother, it became her pistol, and she passed it down to my great-grandmother, who then gave it to my grandmother, who gave it to my mom, who has since given it to me. So like I say, 5 generations, a lot of history. Like I say, this gun, it appears it was used quite a bit for whatever reasons, but like I say, a lot of history here. To me, it's priceless. I have been talking to there's a local business that refinishes firearms, and I'm seriously considering, I mean, the price for me to get this thing re-nickeled, brought back to its old glory, I guess you could say, is going to be a little expensive. It's probably going to cost me more than what the pistol's actually worth, but like I said, I'm probably going to do that after the first of the year, and just to get it back to the way its original condition, like when my great-grandfather actually purchased it. Good little pistol. I haven't fired it, and it's been a few years since I've fired it. The .32 Smith & Wesson long is known for its accuracy, actually. It's supposed to be a pretty accurate pistol. Just a little interesting side note on this. If you can believe it or not, me being in law enforcement, it's kind of hard for me to believe, but this was actually turn of the century. This was actually a handgun that a lot of officers, a lot of departments went with. Matter of fact, the New York City Police Department back at the turn of the century, when Theodore Roosevelt, before he became our 26th president, he was police commissioner up there about 1895 to 1897, I believe, and he was instrumental in standardizing the New York City Police Force. This was their carry gun, not the Smith & Wesson. They carried the Colt, the Colt model. Colt actually called it the 32 Colt New Police model, but it was this cartridge, the .32 Smith & Wesson long, was the cartridge that Colt that those officers carried. This was the standard firearm of the New York City Police Department, if you can believe that. By today's standards, like I say, very anemic round. Just being in law enforcement today, I would feel extremely outgunned if this is all we had to carry. But I guess for the time before the 38 Smith & Wesson, the military police models came out, this was the gun. This is what LEOs carried. So, good little gun. Like I say, a lot of history here. This is the hand ejector. Smith & Wesson actually made 2 models of this. This is called the hand ejector, but they also had a 32 regulation police model, which is essentially, it was the same exact gun. The only difference is the hand ejector here has the rounded, smaller butt end on it, and the 32 regulation police by Smith & Wesson had a squared off butt, thicker squared off butt. The serial number may have been in a different location. The serial number on this one is here on the butt end, and it's also here on the cylinder, if I can find it. Yeah, about right there. There's also the serial number is also on the cylinder there. But other than that, the police model and the hand ejector model were the exact same. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Like I said, this gun is priceless to me. A lot of history here, 5 generations. Like I say, after the first year, I believe I'm probably going to get the nickel refinished. And but I appreciate you watching, and take care, guys.